Hi guys, welcome to January site meeting, January 2020. We have our attendance listed here. Obviously we're a little low this month, but I think that was to be expected with illnesses and holiday, so you can review that there. First is our ITERS tip of the month, is number 30, Guiding Children's Behavior. 1.3, expectations for children are often inappropriate for their development level. Sharing forced or always expected. Long wait periods with nothing to do. Physical movement restricted. Crying treated as a negative behavior. So we kind of want to discuss sharing here for a second. Be sure that there are appropriate toys and materials for children to use. If a child wants a toy that another child is using, model that appropriate way to ask. Johnny is working with that. Let's ask him if you may use it when he is finished. So modeling that conversation for them. Remember that snatching a toy from one child to give to another models that exact behavior for your children. Obviously, we don't want to model snatching toys from one another. We want to model that verbiage for them so they can go on and do it independently with one another. Physical restriction: never at any time is it appropriate to require an infant, toddler, to sit for group activities such as reading or art. Children who are not interested must be allowed to choose another activity or play area. Do you want to speak on anything on that?
No, just that is so important that children have, that they not be restricted, that they have freedom of movement. It is never appropriate to say to a group of young children, you have to sit here while I read this book. It's so important that we give them freedom to move, that they have other activities. And I know that can be a little distressing to some teachers because they like to clean up the room and say, now we're going to sit here for this so the room doesn't get messy again. And although we want our rooms to be clean enough to be safe, a messy room is to be expected. Toys are to be expected. Things that children get out, that's to be expected when you work with young children. So just be sure that we're not restricting their movement, not forcing them to sit, especially for art activities and for reading. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go into CDA. If you're signed up for a CDA class, whether you're a new student or a returning student that's making up classes, it is so important that you attend each class for which you are scheduled. We have some people that, we understand that things come up, that there's times when you have to miss class, things happen that are unavoidable, and people get sick, particularly this time of year with a lot of the stuff that's going around. But we are finding that we have some people that don't show up just because they just not feeling it today. That won't work. Because in your contract, you will find that there is a limited time to complete that CDA if you want the stipend. And we really want you to have that stipend. We feel like that it's important that we recognize your commitment and your hard work to get your CDA. So don't just play around with it and miss getting the stipend that is rightfully yours. For getting your CDA. Look at that contract. Call Diana if you're going to be late or if you're not going to be able to attend a class. Commitment to these classes is super important to your success and to our success as a program, because you're learning so many things that help you to be a better teacher.
Next on the list is all CCP teaching staff will complete a new needs assessment at pre-service. So while at pre-service, we're going to have you fill out a needs assessment. We do those every year. Just kind of a baseline of what support you need, where you think you need growth, something you're excelling at. No punitive action there. It's just something we do to see where we can support you as a teacher in your classroom.
We've had some directors lately talk to us about, because of the turnover of staff, there are some people that maybe didn't get all the training that they needed for TSG. I know at one site we had some people that didn't really understand that physical objectives, literacy, and math can be done in what we call on-the-spot assessment. So we want to be sure that we make your life easier instead of harder. So we are getting ready to put on YouTube short TSG training tutorials that you'll be able to access. You'll be assigned them by your director if they feel like that you need them, if they look at the work you're doing and think you need them, or if you just want to watch them to help you. Be sure and talk to your director about that. Those will be sent out. The first one, documentation on the spot and teach and assess, is going to be available February 3rd, 2020. And other topics and dates to be announced include following lesson planning guidelines, accessing reports, individualization, using the family tab to create partnerships. And we also, at our directors meeting this month, will be talking, in February, not this month, it's February, we'll be talking to directors about other things that might be helpful. So if there's an area where you think that a tutorial might be beneficial to you, talk to your director, whether that would be record keeping, other things that are required of you. If you feel like you've not had enough training on those, if you feel like you want some tips to make those go faster, we want you to be able to work smarter and not harder. So we want to be sure that we do everything we can to support you in your position and to help you get things done in a timely and in an easy manner. So if there's anything that you would like to see on those tutorials, just talk with your director and ask them to send that information along to us.
Due this month is the site meeting sign-off sheet for this site meeting. It's going to be due February 14th, so we'll be around to collect those on that day or prior to. Next, upcoming training and events. Your second home visits are due February 28th. So I would suggest maybe start pulling out those initial ones, getting those goals written down, and kind of start preparing for those. You'll need some developmental learning reports pulled. If you need some help with those, you can always reach out to us. May 8th, 2020 is the spring TSG checkpoints are due. March 5th, the CDA class begins at OVEC, so make sure you're signed up for that. You can talk to your director about that. Pre-service is that July 13th, 16th, 2020, so mark your calendars for that. And then the director's meeting has been rescheduled, so that is a change there, is February 26th. And that's going to be at 11:30, I believe.
Yes, it'll start with lunch at 11:30 and could possibly go till 4.
Yes. And then there's the program planning committee, that's March 13th, 2020.
Under the specialist heading, we have some changes on there. Pam has assumed her new position as health and nutrition manager. She'll be bringing your new health specialist to meet you in the new feature. But not to worry, Pam's still going to be involved, helping us all, guiding us all in that health and in those health and safety issues. School readiness goals are next. We are on number 1 this month, and it says children will increase their ability to participate cooperatively and constructively in a group. Kinder music, baby doll circle time, read aloud are excellent times to encourage these goals when you do those group activities. But in addition, this goal is not only accomplished during group activities, although it does talk about children participating cooperatively and constructively in a group, this is also accomplished, I like to think about it during dramatic play. Let's say that you're in dramatic play and the children are cooking a meal for you, or they're caring for their babies, or you're pretending with children in dramatic play to have a picnic. These are prime opportunities to encourage children to work cooperatively, to share, to not just share materials, but sometimes share your attention. Those are important pieces of that. The objectives balances needs and rights of self and others. It's a great time during dramatic play to model sharing during conflicts over materials. For example, I see you're upset that Amy has your favorite doll. Let's ask her if she will give it to you when she is finished. Taking care of own needs appropriately, that's TSG objective number 1C. Encourage children to work as a group to clean up an area. I will tell you that most of the time when you say cleanup, or even if you sing the cleanup song, young children are overwhelmed by cleanup. And so they need a lot of support to cooperate in cleanup, to get it done. They need your support. It's not enough to say go clean up your area, because often they're overwhelmed by that. So if you can give them a large amount of support, you can teach them to do that in a constructive manner, in a manner where they learn to get along, where they learn that they're helping. That's an important time to accomplish this school readiness goal as well.
Next is curriculum fidelity. So our goal this month is we're going to address 3D. The music and movement area allows for open space for dancing and moving and includes carpet and or cushions. Comfortable adult seating, device for playing music that is out of children's reach. Use of outdoor spaces for music and movement experiences, sound making toys and materials. Some examples would be a ball with bells inside for young infants, tambourines, drums for mobile infants, toddlers, and twos. Some action steps you can work on in the classroom to achieve this goal would be to have those materials available to children. ITER says you need at least 10 available during the day for children. ITERs requires some engaging music or dance activity. We always are going to suggest utilizing kinder music. That should be done daily. It's required to do a music activity with children. So we're always going to ask you to utilize that kinder music. Anything else?
So ask your directors to make batteries available for you for your CD players, so you can take those outside. You can do kinder music on the playground, and in with that, with the kinder music scarves or whatever you take out, you can pull in a lot of nature. The wind blows the scarves. You can pull in lots of things to go with kinder music activities and get that music in there. That's also, as we talked about, a great way to work as a group, and it's good for a lot of things, a lot of goals, a lot of objectives can be observed during that. Once again, if you need us for anything, that's why we're here. Call us, let us know if you need help with TSG, need help with anything in your classroom.
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.